Now after this, we'll study how an offer lapses. Lapse of an offer means how an offer expires, how an offer comes to an end. Let's see how an offer comes to an end or it expires or it terminates. First, offer lapses on rejection. When you reject the offer, it lapses, it gets over there, it gets terminated. It is the simplest way in which the offer lapses. Somebody offers you something, you say no, game over. The offer lapses there. Next, the offer lapses after stipulated or reasonable time. Now, if I give you an offer, I tell you, will you purchase my horse for rupees 25,000? I give you 2 days to reply. Now, if you do not reply in 2 days, what will happen is the offer will lapse. So, if the time is stipulated, that is, if the time is mentioned, and you do not reply within that time, the offer lapses. Or let's say the time is not mentioned. I tell you, do you want to purchase my horse for rupees 25,000? And after 7 years, you come to my house and say, yes, I want to purchase my house, purchase your horse for rupees 25,000. Do you think that is reasonable? Can you accept this offer after 7 years? That will be too long a period for me to wait for your acceptance. So if the time is specified, let's say 2 days, 7 days, 1 month, when the time is specified, you have to reply within that time. And if that time period elapses, that is, that time period is over, the offer now becomes invalid. The validity in the offer is removed, so the offer lapses, it expires, it terminates. And let's say the time is not mentioned in the offer, you have to reply within a reasonable time. Now this reasonable time will vary from case to case basis. For perishable things, reasonable time would be very less, but for durable things, the reasonable time may be more. So it will depend on case to case basis. Next is offer lapses by not being accepted in the prescribed mode or reasonable or usual mode. Now, if I give you an offer, I write a letter to you stating, would you like to purchase my horse for rupees 25,000? If you do, please reply to me by a letter. But what you do is just pick up the phone and call me and say, yes, I want to purchase your horse for rupees 25,000. The offer gets lapsed. Because I had asked you, I had prescribed a mode of reply. But you replied in a different mode. I asked you to reply through a letter, but what you did, you replied by phone. So when you do this, when you do not accept the offer in the prescribed mode, the offer lapses. Now let's say the mode is not prescribed. So what you do is you reply in some reasonable or usual mode in which normally you reply. But if the mode is prescribed, then you have to reply or accept in that mode only. Fourth, offer lapses on death or insanity of offerer or offeree before it was accepted. This is very much understandable and logical that the offer would lapse if the offerer died or the offeree died, but before it was accepted. Now, if I give you the offer, do you want to purchase my horse for rupees 25,000? I give you 2 days to reply, and I die the next day. Can you accept this offer now? Before whom will you accept? To whom will you accept? You cannot accept. And if you cannot accept the offer, you cannot form the contract. So the offer is lapsed there. Now let's say in an accident you tend to die. Who will reply now? Who will accept now? Nobody can accept. And if acceptance can't come, no contract, offer gets lapsed. So either of the party dies, any party of the two, be it offerer or offeree, any of them dies, the offer gets lapsed. But the important condition here is before it was accepted. Let's say I give you an offer saying, do you want to purchase my horse for rupees 25,000? I'll give you 2 days to accept this offer. And you accept the offer the next day. And after 2 days, I die. So what happens now? Please remember, I gave you an offer. You accepted it. It becomes a contract. Now, even if I die, my legal heirs or legal representatives would carry on this contract, would complete this transaction. They'll have to complete. So the offer does not lapse here. The offer lapses only if either of us dies before it was accepted. The next is offer lapses on revocation. Now what is revocation? Revocation means cancellation. I tell you, do you want to purchase my horse for rupees 25,000? I give you 2 days to accept. Now before you accept, the next day I come to your home and say, I cancel my offer. No need of replying. Can I do that? Yes, I can do that. I can cancel my offer provided you've not yet accepted it. Because if you have already accepted it, it has materialized into a contract. And once it has become a contract, it has to be performed. So before the offer is accepted, it can be revoked. And who will revoke it? Only the offerer. Because he's the person who's made the offer. So he has the right to cancel his offer. Offeree cannot revoke the offer because he's not made it. So who can revoke the offer? The offerer can revoke the offer before the offeree has accepted it. Next is offer lapses by counter offer. We've done this. A counter offer brings an end to the original offer. If I tell you I want to sell my horse to you for rupees 25,000 and you say no, I'll purchase it for 20,000. Now what happens is the original offer which I gave gets cancelled. It gets revoked. It lapses. It expires. It terminates. And now we have a new offer coming from your end. You become the offerer now and I become the offeree. Now it is in my hands if I accept it or reject it. But my original offer got lapsed. Seventh, offer lapses by subsequent illegality or destruction of subject matter. I've already given you examples of this when we were discussing the nature of contract. I gave you an example wherein I was trading in wines and you gave me an order to supply wines to you after a month, but before the end of that month, government came up with a law banning the trading of wines. Now, after that law, if I trade in wines, that will be illegal. So if subsequent illegality comes, the offer lapses, because it is very much understandable that once this thing becomes illegal, you can't trade, you will not choose to trade, so the offer will have to lapse. So once there is some illegality, when the offer was made, it was legal, but afterwards illegality crept in. So what happens is the offer lapses. Same is the case with destruction of subject matter. I tell you, I'll supply you 100 bales of cotton. Do you accept the offer at rupees 100 per bale? I give you a week to accept the offer. But the very next day, a fire broke at my godown and all the cotton was destroyed. Now what happens is, because of the destruction of subject matter which was on which the contract was based, on which the offer was based, now that only has destroyed, the offer also lapses. I cannot go ahead with it. It has anyway got destroyed. Even if you accept, I'll not be able to supply. I'll have to tell you that the subject matter has gotten destroyed. So the offer comes to an end. And finally, we have offer lapses by non-fulfillment of condition precedent. What do you mean by a condition precedent? Condition precedent means a condition which needs to be followed before acceptance of the offer. Precedent means before. So this is a condition which needs to be followed before accepting the offer. I give you the offer. Do you want to purchase my horse for rupees 25,000, or I want to sell my horse to you for rupees 25,000? But if you accept this offer, or before accepting this offer, I attach a condition precedent. I tell you that if you want to accept the offer, you will have to construct a stable for it. Now, if you do not construct a stable, my offer will lapse. If you had to accept the offer, you would have constructed the stable for the horse. But now that you are not building or constructing a stable for the horse, my offer will lapse. So there is a condition precedent attached to accepting the offer. And if that condition precedent is not followed, the offer is assumed to be lapsed. So these are the ways in which an offer lapses.